Okay, so today we will discuss regarding the block 4, and last class already we have discussed till up to the block 3, and today we'll start block 4. And this block is regarding guidance and counseling for the adults, and regarding the stress and storm, and what are the real problems used to face by the students at the adulthood stage, and what are the even we can classify all those problems into the different groups, like their college related problem, academic related problem, youth related problem, mental problem, and what is stress, and what are the real factors is going to create the stress for the adults. So these are the concepts mostly we have to cover under this block. And here also we have to go more focus on guidance and counseling. What type of the guidance and counseling is really required for our adults, and really what are the already the existing criteria are there in our education system, at the college, at the higher education. What are the provision is there real for the counseling from the different aspects for our adults. So these are the main concepts are there under this block, and we have to touch all these units, and we have to discuss. So we will start our discussion. And this block contain 4 units: unit 13, 14, 15, and 16. Most probably it's not possible we will not finish all the units, but nearly 2 units today we will complete. And the unit 13 is about guidance and counseling, needs of um, what are the main needs of our adults, young adults. Okay, what they really face at this stage. As already we have discussed, the adulthood is going to start after the 18, after the completion of the adolescent stage. And at this stage, the students are there in the college. And we can say it is a transit period. It means they are not going to consider as a child, they are not going to accepted by the society as an adult. So we can say it is a transit period, and their way of doing and expectation of the parents, of the society, of the all other community members is something more than from the adults. So this is a very crucial stage, and different type of most changes occur at this stage, like physical changes, emotional changes, and social changes, social responsibility. They are newly aware about their responsibility for the society. So all type of, suppose we will see from every aspect, from physical, emotional, moral, social. So we can say that this adulthood stage is a stage of transit, and at this stage most care must have to be taken by all the members who are going to associate with them. So we will discuss first how a adult is going to expose to the society and on the to the system. So suppose we are going to divide the system into as a microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, and macrosystem. And microsystem means suddenly from the childhood onwards, with whom the child is going to interact. It means we know that when the first child born, the child is going to expose to the parents and to the other family members who are mostly taking care of the child. So that will come under the microsystem. So mostly the attitude of the parents and the culture of the family and the behavior of the other members who are related to the child has a lot of impact in the all type of development of the child. It means social development, moral development, all type of development is mostly, as we know that we each and every individual differ from each other. Even though in the same family we are going to born from the same parents, still two siblings are not exactly same, because whatever they used to get the experience from the childhood onwards is totally different, and it has a lot of impact. So the exposure of the child to the microsystem, we can say, is the foundation stage. And at this stage, whatever the concepts the child has learned, and whatever the the ideas, beliefs, thoughts the child have already acquired, those all are going to be as the foundation stone for the for the later stage for other development. So microsystem plays a very important role to determine all type of development of an individual. So microsystem, who are coming under the microsystem? Already I told to you, the family members, parents, mostly the parents, other family members, culture of the family, and the near society. It means the neighborhood, the peer group with whom the child is going to get exposure to play. These all are coming under the microsystem. Then next, gradually the child move from microsystem to mesosystem. Mesosystem we will come when the child, from after home the child is going to school, is going to get a different exposure. The child get a different environment. There, instead of parents, the child is getting exposed to other elders as like the parents. So teachers, other members who are working in the school, and the when the child is at home before going to get exposure to the school, the peer group is limited. But when the child is going to expose to the school, there are different type of children from the different culture, from the different background, though, so the exposure of the child is going to get more and more. So it will come under the meso system. It means that the child is getting more exposed to the society. Then we will come to the exosystem. Exosystem will come when gradually the child is growing. We the child get the exposure to the media. Nowadays social media, and we can say, the films and newspaper and all other things what the child is getting, interact, from where the child is inculcating all the information, from where the child is getting all the thoughts. So these all are going to play also very important role the development of the child in every aspect. So that will, we can say, gradually from microsystem to mesosystem, and after that from meso to exosystem, and from exosystem to last at that macro system. Macro system means government rules and regulations. We can say, uh, whatever the other policies and all these, at the large stage, at the country level, at the state level, new rules and regulations, all those all things will come under the macro system. Or external things like that, where in which country the child is going to live. Suppose now here we can take an example. Our Suppose we can compare the attitude and the development of the Indian students compared to the students who are belonging mostly to the Arabian countries. What? Because their environment, their system, their government, their policy is totally different than ours. So definitely their way of thinking, their thought, their beliefs, each and everything has a lot of difference from the Indian students. So the thing is that how gradually the child is going to get exposed from micro to up to macro through meso and exo, it has a lot of impact in the development in every aspect. So at this stage, we are discussing from the point of view of the adulthood stage. And this adulthood stage is a critical stage where the child is there in a dilemma. Because in the childhood, mostly the children are not going to develop the thought provoking. Not all, we cannot generalize. There are certain children who have that thought provoking skills, but mostly at the adulthood stage, they are not in a situation to accept everything. This is a stage they used to keep the question mark before going to accept certain things. There are a lot of question in their mind, whether it is good or not, whether it is will be benefit for me or not, why I will do it. So there are certain questions always within the individual, because at this stage, already the all type of development, according to, we can, if you will see, according to Piaget's cognitive development theory, all type of development is already going to finish when the child is going to reach at the stage of the adulthood. So at this stage, the child is going to ask, not here we are not going to call as a child, a adult. An adult is going to ask different question to himself before going to accept everything. So This is a stage what is going to accepted by the individual. It is going to convert into the thoughts. That thought is going to enter to the mind of the child person, and later that thought is going to convert to a belief, and later the belief is going to convert to a action. So we can say mostly the personality is going to reshape. No doubt personality is going to develop from the childhood onwards, but this is the stage where the personality of the child is going to get a new shape. Okay, the because the observation of the adult is more. Now at this stage the adult not accept everything blindly, accept everything what is suitable, what will be benefit, what he can do, and the individual is now aware about his potentiality, what he can do and what he cannot do. So this is a stage where the individual want to make a balance between all of the things what is there in surroundings, from micro to up to macro. It means from family, from parents, culture, school, society, community, media, and the country, the government, the policy, each and everything. Now the individual get a exposure, and after knowing each and everything, it make a balance. Every individual, whatever now we can say that if an individual what we have learned as an individual, what we have learned according to our own effort. No one can make us to learn. Suppose an individual is never interested to learn, no one can make you to learn. Okay, so whatever a adult is going to learn, it is his according to his own effort and own interest. So every person, in every person's life, this adulthood is a transit stage. Okay? It is a very important stage, and it is a stage where individual with can move with a positive attitude totally to good. Otherwise, it is a stage also which the life of the individual can also spoil. So here different type of, already in the last class already we have discussed what are the stress and storm mostly the individuals are going to get at this stage. Already again just I will recall all those things, why the what are the different types of stress and storm came for them in this stage. So young adults mostly, why the stress and storm is there at this stage for the adults, it means there is a interference in the freedom. It means they want freedom, but um, parents or the society is not in a stage to give total freedom to them, but they feel that they are in a stage to get all type of freedom. So there is a controversy whether the individual thought whether I am as a adolescent I will be controlled, or as an adult I will be a free citizen. Okay, free individual. So there is a question of freedom. And at this stage also the individual want to make more social relationship because they get more exposure to the society. So they now believe in the new social relationships. It means when they are confined in their family, they are confined with the parents, with the siblings, with the neighbors and all these things. But when they get more and more exposure, as already we have discussed, from my micro to macro, they want to make more friendship. They want to now be close to different individuals, so they want to create their own image in the society. It is a stage of, already I think last class I already told to you, this is a stage where they believe in their own self concept. They want to develop their own self concept, they want to create their own self image, and they give more importance to their own self esteem. And these three things, the self concept, self image, and self esteem, is the very important for them at this stage. And when in these all the things, when they get any question mark or anything interference, it is a very crucial for them to take the decision. So if, from this point of view, in our education system also we can give more focus on these things, how an individual in this stage can develop his own self concept, how they will create their own self image, self esteem. And at this stage they never like to get any negative feedback, because already I told you they never like to be scolded by others. They never believe that someone can control us. So they want to behave because they have a feeling of heroism. This is a stage, they are very young, and there is a feeling of heroism. So they feel themselves like the heroes, and they feel that or they must be accepted by other members in the society. They at this stage, they want their parents must accept them. Whatever they are, they must be accepted by their parents. Whatever they are, they must be accepted by the teachers or at the college level, or they want to accepted by their peers. And they always give more importance at this stage for a good friend circle. They want to accept by they at this stage, they want to choose their life partner, they must want to accept by their life partner. So this is a stage of self concept, self image, and self esteem. And if they are not getting all these things, if there is any interference, it is also going to create more stress and storm for them. So and another thing is that this is a crucial stage to choose a profession. Means they have already newly going to enter to a professional course, or if even if they are there in the general course, there is a always attention regarding choosing a profession, what they will do in the future, how to choose a particular profession. So if they are success in this line, then it's a very good positive environment for them. If they are failed in that, unable to choose a particular profession on the basis of their own ability, and whatever they want to do, if they are not getting that profession, so it is also going to create more stress and stern for them. So this is the stage. If profession is going to create a more stress and stern at this adulthood stage, so education system must give more focus to provide more counseling to them and guidance to them regarding the profession or regarding the choosing of the profession. So here we must give importance on how to provide more guidance, more counseling to choose a particular profession. And already we have discussed regarding the college related concerns, their academic concerns, and youth culture and aggregations. And today we'll discuss more. Already these concepts last class also I have focused to in our discussion. And today we will give more focus on mental health problems. What is the mental health problem, and how we will make a issue to make them out of it, and how what type of counseling and guidance we can provide to them so that they will be free from stress and storm, and how higher education must give more importance to make our adults to free from stress and storm. So before going to that, first of all, we must know that what is the stressor and how they are getting stress at this stage. Already the different aspects already I told to you. What is the stressor for them? Health problem is a stressor for them. If according to their age they are not getting proper health or physical development, it is also a stress for the adults. If they are going to compare themselves with other peer groups regarding their physical growth or regarding their personality, then it is going to create more stress for them. They feel inferior in the family, among the family members, among the friend circles. So health problem is also a great problem at this stage, and proper health development have to take into consideration. So not only the school and college, both the family, school, and also the college environment must give ample opportunity how they will be get proper health development in their physical aspects. Okay. And another is the uh, parental discord. Parental discord means this is a stage mostly the parents have a lot of expectation. Suppose a child has already reached at the stage of 21, 22, and others are already going to get the job, and a particular child is not going to, and there is a lot of pressure from the parents to do the any profession and to earn money. So sometimes there are the parental discord, so it's going to create a lot of stress on them. So this is the stage we must provide the proper guidance and counseling to handle them. It's not so easy to tell, but we as a higher education institute, we must aware about the family background of each and every child, from where the child is, what is the condition of the child, and what is the real need of the child, what real guidance the child is required. So at this stage also in the higher education, now we are going to maintain the portfolio for each and every child from where that nowadays suppose we will see there is a lot of reforms in the education system. A profile of the child is going to maintain from the school lives. So nowadays everything online it is going to be done. In many other states already it has done. Suppose a child has enter a college and take the admission in a college, there is we are going to maintain the profile of the child. And when we get the profile is going to maintain from the school itself. So when we will enter the name of the child, the profile automatically will get the transfer to your website, and you can see what is the background of the child, from where the child has passed the schooling, what is the status of the parents, what is the profession of their parents, from which locality the child is, and according to that we can provide the guidance and counseling. So at the highest higher education stage we can maintain the profile and prepare the different type of portfolio on the basis of their category and their needs, so that it can be more helpful them to solve the problems. Regarding they have a lot of problem regarding the financial difficulties. They have a lot of problem regarding their performance also. Sometimes the children are highly expected, they have a high aim, but that talent is not there among them. They want to be that, but they now aware that that talent is not there, and they are also unaware from where they will get that opportunity. uh, Suppose they are highly ambitious, they want to be they want to reach in a particular stage, but after in the childhood only blindly the children are ambitious, I want to be like that, I want to be like that, but they are unaware regarding their potentiality. But after reaching this stage, reaching the stage of adulthood, they are aware that no, my aim is this, but I am not having that potential. So in that situation they are unable to accept their reality, and they are also unaware about the opportunity. Okay, so and the gap between the reality and the opportunity and their ambition, it is going to create a lot of stress for them. So this is the stage at the college level we can provide more guidance to them regarding this, regarding their opportunities, from where they will get, if their aim is that what they has to do, where they can do. So the suggestions, the opportunity, we can also make them aware, or make them accept their reality, or by help of the counseling also we can make them to accept their reality, what they are. We has to, without any judgment, how they can accept themselves. So and if we will give focus on this that also will help them to develop the good mental health. And next is the effect management of mental health. Suppose we want to make the management of this mental health, what we have to give focus, how we can do. So there are different type of therapies are there, by help of which we can provide the we can help them to manage their mental health. So therapy means, you understand already, you know already what do you mean by therapy? કે કયો therapy ମାନେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛ? କେତେ ଜଣ ଅଛ ରେ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ? ଆରେ ଯିଏ ଅଛ କହିବ, what do you understand by therapy? ଅଛ ନା ନାଇଁ ରେ ଶେଫାଳି, ରାଧିକା?
Yes, ma'am. Therapy means treatment.
କଣ କହିଲ? ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ? କଣ କୋଉ ଟାଇପ ର ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ? ଇଜ ଇଟ ଲାଇକ that
Peace.
treatment like doctors? Hmm?
No, ma'am. Suppose ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାଟା କଥା କହିପାରୁନି, ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ ଥେରାପି ହେଲା,
ଆଚ୍ଛା, କୁହ। Therapy is like a treatment only, but the here is that it's not based on the medicines. Okay, we are not going to provide
Okay.
the medicine. We are going to do it by help of some practice. Okay, and
Okay.
on the basis of certain activities. Yes, ଆମେ ଯେମିତି କହିବା ଡକ୍ଟରଙ୍କର ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ that is based on certain medicines. Okay, ଏହା ଖାଇବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ଏହା କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କୁହାଯାଏ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଥେରାପି ହଉଛି କଣ? It is also the objective is same. There is also a problem. So before going to adopt a particular therapy, first of all, the goal is that we have to find out the problem. What is the problem is there? Okay, so identification of the problem. Then we can decide what type of therapy is required for the child. Okay, so identification of the problem, then I, identification of the therapy, which therapy we can make to implement, then how we can do the therapy, the process of the therapy. So the process of the therapy is that on by help of certain practice, certain activities to achieve the goal. Okay, so here as we already discussing regarding the mental health. Okay, is health, is there any health for the mental also? Health means mostly we think regarding from the physical point of view. Is there any health for mind also? Mental also, is there any health? We always used to tell that a sound mind in a sound body. Suppose we will take care of the health, then definitely sound mind will be there. Then why again the for mental health different therapy is required? Is always in a sound body, a sound mind is there. Of course, a sound mind, for a sound mind, there is need of a sound body, but it is not always that a sound body is having a sound mind. Okay, so there are certain criteria, certain interference, certain things which is going to create a mental imbalance even if there is a sound body also. Okay, so we are talking now regarding that. What is that? That is called as what is making a disturbance in your mental health? That is stress. Okay, so that stress or storm, what we are talking now regarding the stress and storm, is going to create a disturbance in the mental health or for a sound mind. So if the stress and storm is an interference for the mental health, then we have to first of all identify what is that stress and storm, what is that, and what is going to create the stress and storm, that is called a stressor. You understand now? What is going to create an imbalance for the mental health, that is a stress or a storm. Okay, and that stress and storm is going to create by a particular thing, and which thing is going to create a stress and storm, that is called a stressor. And that stressor may be your health problem, your maybe your relationship issues, maybe your financial difficulties, maybe your low performance, maybe your non acceptance in the peer, or maybe parental discord. So these are the stressor. So these are the stressor is going to create a problem in the mental health. So if stressor is identified properly, if we are able to identify the stressor properly, then we can plan for a good mental health therapy. So what type of therapy is required for the balanced mental health? We can identify it. So first of all, the thing before going to identify the therapy, we must aware regarding the stress and storm and the stressor. What is that stressor for a particular individual? If if we are unable to identify, then the therapy will not work. As like in a diagnosis of a disease. If disease is not properly diagnosed, then your medicine will not work. Like this, if your stress term and the stressor is not properly identified, then your therapy for the good mental health or balanced mental health will be never will be suitable. So before going to adopt a particular therapy, we must aware regarding the stressor. So what type of therapies are there? So the therapies mostly for a mental health is that psychotherapy, behavior therapy, cognitive therapy, humanistic therapy, group therapy, and family therapy. Okay, these all are the many therapies are there, but these are the certain things which is highlighted in your module, and I have picked also those things from your module. So psychotherapy for a proper psychological development, behavioral therapy if we identified that due to the stress and stuff there is disturbance in the behavior of the individual and there are certain behavioral discords, so we can adopt this behavioral therapy. Cognitive therapy, cognitive imbalance, and there is no proper cognitive development, and the individual is unable to maintain the balance in the cognitive stages, then we go for the cognitive therapy. Humanistic therapy regarding the human values development. As we already know, by being born as a human, we are not the human. Okay, so for being a human, we have to learn certain human values. Okay, so we are going to see that a individual, no doubt, as a born as a human, but there is no human qualities. As we know, we human beings are different from the other creatures in different aspects, and we are expected certain behaviors among us. If we are finding the problem in that, so there is need of those therapies. And sometimes people are unable to live in a group. They can, as an individual, they cannot stay with the others, they cannot adjust it anywhere, they have no good understanding with other family members. If they are working in the peer group also, they are unable to work with others. There is always a problem in the peer group, and they are not, no, none of the individual is good for them. In according to them, none of the individual in the society is good. They always find fault among others. So it is also a mental health problem. This is a mental health problem. So we there is required to them the group therapy, how to work in group, how to do the works with others, how to do a work in a team. So for that also there is need. Mostly nowadays, such type of problems we are facing among the children who are from the nuclear family. Means from the childhood onwards, they never have share anything with others because they always need a priority. When in a family only parents are there and single child is there, the child always get the priority for everything. And nowadays parents also, for a single child, they're providing all type of opportunity. From the childhood onwards, the child has never learned how to adjust with others, how to share with others, and how to work with others. So when they used to get a exposure to the society, they have the problem. They are unable to adjust with others, they are unable to work with others, they are unable to mingle with others. So that is also a mental health problem, and at that case we need also a therapy for them. Family therapy, how to adjust in a family, how to be there to live with other family members with good understanding, with good mental health. So these all are the problems, and on the basis of that, we can identify the stress and we can identify the therapy. If we are unable to give it, it has a lot of impact on them. Suppose in a proper time, the stress and storm is not properly identified, then the individual is going to be hampered in a lot of manner, in a lot, and which cannot be rectified in the later stage. Suppose after 18 to 30, and as we know that all type of habits are already developed before going to reach at the stage of 26, 27, and after that it is very difficult to change, to bring the change in their habits. Whatever the things will develop at this stage, those are now become the permanent behavior, and later stage it is very difficult. Whatever maybe regarding their skill, regarding their behavior, regarding their attitude, regarding their personality, whatever the things. At the later stage, it's very difficult. Again, it will never change, and it will create a lot of problem in the for those individuals who have already developed. all the negative things in the different aspects, and it will create in the later stage for them the emotional disturbance, for them the behavioral problems, lack of cognitive development, and everything, every skill, like as we know our life skills, they are unable to take the problem decision, unable to take their own decision. So life skills problem, they are unable to solve their own problems in the real life. As we know that there are the 10 life skills regarding all that, if it is not going to be rectified at this stage, all life skills, their cognitive skills and all things going to be hampered, or it has a very negative impact in the later stage. So this is the stage, uh, if you will not take care of all that type of development, then the individuals at the later stage will get more problems. What type of problems? Problems regarding their behavior, regarding their emotion, their cognitive development, their life skill problems, problems regarding that no, their drug culture. Suppose this is a stage where the individual is not made to rectify regarding the habits, their wrong habits, wrong attitudes, then it will again will become a permanent behavior for them, and when it is going to convert to a permanent behavior, it's very difficult to make them back also to the original stage. So this is all more or less regarding that stress and stir and the therapy. Then next we will come how, as the university teacher, as a counselor, or as a mental health facilitator, what type of guidance and counseling we can provide to them. Okay, as we know that as a teacher from the childhood onwards, we are there not only as a teacher, we are the guide, we are the counselor, we are the friends, we are the philosophers. So we must not think that as a teacher my duty is only to inculcate the knowledge or to transform the information, but we must take into the risks of shaping the life of the individuals. So at this stage we must give focus on how we can provide the guidance to them regarding their real life situation also, as a friend, as a philosopher, and we must aware about their condition. My voice is audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, all are audible.
Okay, thank you. So so as a counselor, as a philosopher, we must very close to the children. We must not think that they are at the college stage and we have no other work than the transacting the curriculum. Okay, we are not here only as a person to transact the curriculum or the content or to transform the information or the knowledge. We always will feel that we must close with them. We must aware regarding their personal life, and we must give guidance to them as a friend, as a philosopher, as a counselor. Okay, so counseling must be a great part of teaching in higher education. Okay, it must not be whatever may be the course, whether it is a general course or it is a professional course, but in every course at the stage of adulthood, counseling must be a part of the syllabus or the curriculum. And in every institute, there must be a counseling cell. That's why now you will see in every higher education institute there is a counseling cell. And now if certain teachers are assigned as the duty of the mentor, and certain when the children is going to join, their children are grouped in the different groups, and for every group there is a mentor. So so it must be highlight, even though it is there now according to the syllabus, but it is not going to be practiced in a proper manner. But we must give more focus, and this due to which only we are going to face a lot of problem in our real life society. So we must think that we must think that at the higher education, the counseling must be a more active part in every higher education institute. Okay, so if we are now talking regarding the counseling and the counseling cell, then what should be the nature of guidance and counseling? What type of guidance and counseling is required? Okay, so here I have prepared also certain PPTs for you. I forgot to say. Now I'm going to say, just make me confirm that it is visible for you or not. PPT is visible. Just one of you will make me sure whether PPT is visible
Yes,
or not.
ma'am, visible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
What? कौन कहला?
PPT is visible.
Okay, thank you. So we will discuss regarding nature of guidance and counseling. So what should be the nature of guidance and counseling? So guidance must be for empowering the individual. Okay, guide, the purpose of guidance is not to only identify the problem in the child. Okay, the child must feel that the teacher is only going not going to identify my problem, but to empower me. So this is a positive attitude. The guidance is not to judge the individual, to what extent the individual is good, what is bad, not like that. The student must feel that the teacher is there as a guide, as a counselor, to empower me, not to find the fault within me. Okay, and not to judge. As a teacher, we must learn to accept every individual, whatever the individual is. We must not, you are good, you are bad, she is more good, she is more better than you, not like the comparison, not like that. As a counselor, we must aware about it, that our duty is to empower our children, not the fault finding nature. We are not here to find the fault. We are not there for the compare or to create any type of negative impact on the child, but our is the whatever the talent is there within the individual, to make it focus, to make it identify whatever the talents are there, and to make them more empowered, and what other opportunities are there for that talent, we make them aware about that. So the main purpose of guidance and counseling is empowering the individual, and to help to discover the needs. To We are here to help them to discover their own needs, what they really want, because sometimes the students are mostly at the stage of the darkness. They're unaware. If sometimes they do not know what to do. They are doing a course, they are studying, they are getting marks, but they are unaware about the many things. So we must make them aware regarding their needs, really what they want to, and we must help them to explore themselves, what they really want, to make make the make a habit of self introspect among them. Okay, we know that we all individuals are more concerned about others, and we are very less concerned about ourselves. Suppose someone will ask us, what is your good qualities, but someone will ask me, what is the yes, or what is the bad qualities there in your friend, then we are more aware. Yes or no? Are you agree with me? अरे कौन कहली बुझिपार?
Yes, ma'am.
ଯଦି ଆମକୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏବେ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ପଚାରିବି, ତମ ଭିତରେ ଥିବା ଗୋଟେ ଖରାପ ଗୁଣଟେ ମତେ କୁହ, ତମ ପାଖରେ କଣ ନେଗେଟିଭ ଗୁଣଟା ଅଛି? ଆମେ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ବହୁତ unaware. It will take a lot of time to think that what is the bad qualities there with me. Okay, but if I will ask you what is the bad qualities there with your friend, suddenly you will tell, because we observe others more than us. ଆମେ ଆମକୁ ନିଜକୁ କମ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁ, ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କୁ ଅଧିକା ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁ. सो अन्य मानक पाखरे थिबा भलो गुण खराब गुण विषय रे आमे बहुत अवेयर देन अस आम पाखरे थिबा भलो गुण खराब गुण विषय रे आमे कम अवेयर. आर यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, PPT is not visible.
होनी
No, ma'am.
ଟିକେ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ ଆଉ ଥରେ ସେ କରୁଛି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଇଶ୍ୟୁ ରହିଲେ ପିପିଟି ଗୁଡା ଦେଖାଯାଉ. ଏବେ ଦେଖାଗଲା?
हाँ मैम.
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି. ତ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ତ ଆମେ ତ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲୋର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଦେବା. ଆମର ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ର ମେନ୍ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ହବା ଦରକାର. ଆମେ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଆମେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିଜେ ସ୍କୋପ ଦେବା ହାଉ ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲୋର ଦେମସେଲ୍ସ. ସେମାନେ ନିଜ ଭିତରେ ଥିବା ପଜିଟିଭ ଆଉ ନେଗେଟିଭିଟି ବିଷୟରେ ବେଶୀ ଆୱେୟାର ହେବେ. ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦ ନେଗେଟିଭିଟି ଇଜ देयर विथ मी, what is the positive things are there with me, and how my negative things can I convert to positive. Okay, everyone we each and everyone are having some certain positive and certain negative things. Okay, but we are unaware about it, and we are more aware about all other things in the world, and we are more conscious about others than us. ଆମ ନିଜ ବିଷୟରେ ଭାବିବା ପାଇଁ ମୋ ଭିତରେ କଣ ଚାଲିଛି, ମୋ ଭିତରେ କୋଉ ନେଗେଟିଭ ଥଟ୍ ଅଛି, ମୋ ଭିତରେ କଣ ପଜିଟିଭ ଥଟ୍ ଅଛି, ମୁଁ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ କଣ ଭାବୁଛି, ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଦିନ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ କଣ କାମ କରୁଛି, ସେଲ୍ଫ ଇଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ନିଜକୁ ନିଜେ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଟାଇମ ନାହିଁ. କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ବହୁତ ଟାଇମ ଅଛି. ଆମେ ସିଏ ଭଲ ସିଏ ଖରାପ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା, ତାକୁ ଆର୍ଗୁମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା, ତାକୁ ତା ବିଷୟରେ କାହା ପାଖରେ ନେଗେଟିଭ କଥା ଅଛି କେମିତି ତାକୁ ସ୍ପ୍ରେଡ କରିବା, ସେ ସବୁ ବିଷୟରେ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ବହୁତ ଟାଇମ ଅଛି. ବଟ୍ ଟୁ ଥିଙ୍କ ଆବାଉଟ୍ ଆୱାର ସେଲ୍ଫ वी हैव नो टाइम. So that type of guidance and counseling is required for our children. Okay, to make them aware about themselves, to think about themselves. Okay, because most of the time of our life we are going to spend for thinking about others, and if and every individual if we will rectify ourselves, most of the problems in the society will rectify. But some we know that the problem is there within us, but we are finding the problem in others. So that type of guidance and counseling is required to make them self-aware, self-introspect. Okay, and one more thing is that make the habit, the guidance and counseling is required for the adults from one aspect to accept ourselves. What we are, sometimes we are not itself accepting ourselves. We are going to compare us with others. We know that we each and every individual differ from each other. We each and every individual have different potentiality, but we are never accepting it. So most of the time our system, our society is also such that every moment at every time we are with others. Okay, and that is going to create a more negativity. So we must develop the attitude among the adults how to accept themselves. ମୁଁ ଯାହା ମତେ ନିଜକୁ accept କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଯେ ନାଇଁ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଏତିକି talent ଅଛି, ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଏଇ ଜିନିଷଟା ନାହିଁ. ତ if comparison is good in terms of improvement, but not in terms of jealousy. As we know, there are certain negative emotions and positive emotions. So if due to comparison we are getting the negative emotions like jealousy and revenge, all these things are the negative emotions. So we must think, we must aware about it, why that type of negative emotion is going to develop among me, what is the main root of it. Okay, then we can find. So if you every individual we will accept us, so then most of the problem of our life will be solved. So as a counselor, our duty is to develop that attitude in every individual at this stage of adulthood. Accept themselves what they are, to accept themselves. Okay, not to compare with others. We can compare us with our yesterday. ମାନେ ନିଜକୁ ନିଜ ସହିତ compare କରିବା, it's a very good quality. What I am yesterday and what I am today. but not to compare with others, because we know everyone's life, everyone's situation differ from each other. So not to compare with others, but to compare with ourselves. What I am today, whether today what I am, tomorrow what I can do. So whether I am growing or not, whether there is any improvement for me or not. So comparison within the self is very good. It will help them to move in a positive direction. So we must develop that type of attitude among our children. Okay, to help them to develop in their life process and formulate plan of action, and we can make them how to make their plan. As we know, every one of us are going to live our life blind. We do not know day by day the one or day today is going to be spent in our life, and day by day our lifespan is going to reduce, but we are unaware what we have done and we are going to do, because blindly we are just leading our life. So we must make them aware how to make a plan, how to make a plan. This is my goal, how I what I will achieve within 5 years, what I am today, tomorrow I want to see me myself as in which condition, in which stage. Okay, so make a plan for yourself. ଆରେ ପିପିଟି ଦେଖା ଯାଉଛି?
Yes ma'am, ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି.
So we, in guidance and counseling, we can give the idea to them to make their own planning for life, how to plan their life. Okay, just make a plan from every aspect. In physical aspect, I achieve these things within 5 years, within 5. From social aspect, I will achieve these things within 5 years. Or from my emotional, I will be more emotional balanced. Or moral values, I have to acquire more moral values. In every aspect, how I will grow. So we will make them aware how to prepare their planning for life, for every aspect in their life. Okay, regarding their understanding, their acceptance, their direction, their realization, then it will be a proper and good guidance and counseling for the adults. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ଏତିକି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଯାହା ଡିସ୍କସନ କଲେ?
ହଁ ma'am.
ଠିକ ଅଛି, ନେକ୍ସଟ ତାପରେ ମତେ ତମେ ପ୍ରଥମେ କହିଲ ତମେ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ଏ ଦିଟା ଜିନିଷ ଭିତରେ କଣ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ଅଛି ନା ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଏକା? କଣ ବୁଝିଛ? ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ କଣ, କାଉନସିଲିଂ କଣ, ନା
ଗାଇଡାନ୍ସ
ଦିଟା
ହେଲେ
ଯାକ
ଜଣଙ୍କର
ଏକା?
ଧର କ୍ୟାରିୟର ଚୁଜ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି,
ହଁ,
ସେଇ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ତାକୁ ଗାଇଡାନ୍ସ ଦବା ତାକି ଏଇଟା ଚୁଜ କଲେ ଭଲ ହବ ତାର.
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ତ କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ ହେଲା ତାକୁ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ କହିବା। କାଉନସିଲିଂ କେତେବେଳେ କହିବା?
yes ma'am.
କାଉନସିଲିଂ କେତେବେଳେ କହିବା?
କାଉନସିଲିଂ ତାର କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଲା ତାକୁ ଆମେ ସଲ୍ଭ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛୁ, ତ ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି କାଉନସିଲିଂ। ତ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ଦ୍ୱାରା ହିଁ ସଲ୍ଭ କରିହବ।
କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ କଣ ହୁଏନି କି? କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ରେ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଯଦି
ଶୁଭୁନି କିଛି।
ତାହେଲେ ଥିବ, ତାହେଲେ ସେଟାକୁ କାଉନସିଲିଂ କହିପାରିବେ ନା ନାହିଁ?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଭୁନି କିଛି, ଅଧା ଅଧା
କହିଲି କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଥିବ ଆମେ ସେଟାକୁ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ କହିବା ନା କାଉନସିଲିଂ କହିବା? ଯଦି ତମେ କହିଲ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ହଉଛି,
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଯୋଉଟା
ଶୁଭୁନି?
ରହିଲା ତାକୁ ଆମେ ସଲ୍ଭ
ଏବେ ଶୁଭିଲା?
କରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବା, ସେଇଟା ଯଦି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ,
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଭିଲା ଏବେ।
ଏବେ ଶୁଭିଲା?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଭିଲା। ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ,
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଭୁଛି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା, ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ଠିକ ଅଛି। ତ ତମ କହିବା, ହଁ ହଁ, ମୁଁ କହିଲି ତମ କହିବା ହିସାବରେ ଯଦି କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ଦେନ୍ ସେଇଟା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହଉଛି ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ, ଆଉ ଯଦି କ୍ୟାରିୟର ରିଲେଟେଡ କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ଜବ ରିଲେଟେଡ ନାହିଁ, then it is counseling. Yes, ଏ କହୁଛ ତ?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସେଠି ନାହିଁ, ଏନି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ ଦଉଛୁ।
ଆଉ କିଏ କିଛି କହିବ? ନଟ୍ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟଲି ସେମିତି ନାହିଁ। ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ହଉଛି ଯଦି ଆଉ କୁହ। ଆରେ କଣ କହୁଥିଲ କୁହ? ସଲ୍ୟୁସନ ଦଉଛୁ।
ସେଇଟା କାଉନସିଲିଂ କୁହାହବ। ଏନି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଲେ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ
କଣ ହଉଛି ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ମାନେ? ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ହଉଛି ପିରିୟଡ ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମକୁ ଆମର ବୋଥ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ର କାମ ହଉଛି ଟୁ ସଲ୍ଭ ଏ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ। ଓକେ, if there is a problem we are going to provide the guidance and counseling. So definitely some problem is there. Okay, when we are talking regarding guidance and counseling, we are here to solve certain problems. Okay, so problem is the main cause, problem is there. Okay, but the difference is that when we tell guidance and when we used to call the counseling, is that when it is there for a short period of time, କିଛି ଅଳ୍ପ ସମୟ ପାଇଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କେବଳ problem solve କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛେ, then it is called as a guidance. But for a long period of time, for a continuous time period, regularly with certain intervals, we are there connected with the problem, and time to time we are providing the suggestion and we are try to solve the problem, then it is called as counseling. Okay, ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ଆରେ
ହଁ
ଶୁଣା
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଯାଉଛି ମୁଁ? ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଏବେ
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ବୁଝିପାରିଲ?
ଶୁଭୁଛି।
ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ହଉଛି କଣ?
ହଁ ହଁ
ହଁ, ବୋଥ ର ବୋଥ
ସର୍ଟ
ଜିନିଷର
ପିରିୟଡ଼।
ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ସଲ୍ଭ ଏ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ। ବଟ ଯଦି କିଛି ସର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମ କେବଳ ଆମର ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ଅଛି, ଏତି ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ଟାଇମ ଭିତରେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ସଲ୍ଭ ହେଇଯିବ, ଦେନ୍ ରିଏଲି ୟୁଜିଂ
ସେଟାକୁ
ଦ
ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ
vocabulary
କହିବା।
the word guidance କହିବା। But when it is there as a deeper, as a long period of time, okay, time to time interval it is going to continue, and with that we are slowly improving and providing the suggestion. At that situation it is called as counseling. Okay, so we can
ଓକେ।
say that counseling is a psychological therapy for enabling the client to solve his or her own problem. Actually counseling kona, the counselor is not going to solve the problem. In counseling also the counselor is not going to solve the problem, but the thing is that we are here to solve the problem. We make the individual self-efficient so that the individual will solve the problem himself or herself. Okay. We empower the individual to solve his or own problem himself. The counselor is never going to solve the problem, but counselor is only there to provide the support. Only the client itself will solve his problem. ତାକୁ କେହି solve କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ କାଉନସିଲର ତାହେଲେ କାମ କଣ? କାଉନସିଲରଙ୍କର କାମ ହେଉଛି by being as a side as a facilitator to make you aware regarding the problem and what are the different solutions are there, and to make you empower to solve your own problem yourself. Okay, so that is the main nature of counseling. ଆମେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଭାବୁ counselor problem solve କରିଲେ, no, not like that. Who has the problem, the individual itself only can solve the problem. Okay, କାହା problem କେବେ ବି କିଏ solve କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ କାମ କଣ କାଉନସିଲରଙ୍କର? ନା to make you empower, to make you strong, to take the proper decision or to make you think. A counselor is never going to impose. A counselor always can suggest but never can impose. Okay, so that is the main purpose of counseling. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତାହେଲେ ସମସ୍ତେ? ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ବେସିକ
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଏସମ୍ପସନ କଣ ଅଛି ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ପାଇଁ। ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ପାଇଁ ଏଠି ମୁଁ ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର କରୁଛି। ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଇଜ ଫର ଏ short term process and counseling is more intimate and deeper level. Okay, then basic assumption for guidance and counseling. ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ କଥା କହୁଛେ ସେତେବେଳେ କେତେଟା ଗୋଟେ ଏଜମ୍ପସନ ଅଛି ଯାହା ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଭାବୁ ଯେ ଏଜ୍ୟୁମ କରିଦେଇଥାଉ, and ସେ ବେସିକ ଏଜମ୍ପସନ ଉପରେ ହିଁ ଆମର ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ କାଉନସିଲିଂ ଚାଲିଥାଏ। ଆଉ ସେ ବେସିକ ଏଜମ୍ପସନ ଗୁଡାକ ହଉଛି ଯେ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ବିହେଭିୟର ଇଜ ଚେଞ୍ଜେବଲ। ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଭାବୁ ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ବିହେଭିୟର ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ର କେବେ ବି ପରମାନେଣ୍ଟ ନୁହଁ। At every moment it can change. So if we will provide the guidance and counseling, maybe the behavior will be changeable. If we will not make this assumption, then we cannot provide the guidance and counseling. Semidi men is basically rational and reality oriented. Okay, this is also a assumption. We believe that men are basically rational, okay, and reality oriented. We always based on the reality. Okay, and like most psychological difficulties are transient in nature. Okay, and guidance and counseling is curative in nature. All teachers are consciously or unconsciously counselors. So these are the certain assumptions, but exactly it's not like that. Exactly it's not like that. But we create this assumption, and on the basis of it, mostly we are providing the guidance and counseling. Okay, so maybe sometimes this assumption can implement or it can work, but sometimes it may not. Okay, so there are the certain assumption on the basis of which the guidance and counseling is going to be work. So what is mostly required to be a counselor? जदि हमें भाबुचे काउंसलिंग कथा कौन प्रकृति रे दरकार काउंसलर गोटे हबा पई कौन रहिबा दरकार तमे निजे कुह जणको काउंसलर हबा को हेले कौन कौन समस्त काउंसलर हेई परिबे कौन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रहिबा दरकार कौन सब टीचर काउंसलर वी मोस्टली एज्यूम दैट टीचर माने जणे काउंसलर हेजु इज इट पॉसिबल ऑल टीचर्स कैन बी ए काउंसलर assumption ने भी जेमति भी मु कहली every we assume that all teachers are consciously or unconsciously counselors. Okay, so is it every individual every teacher is a counselor?
ନା ସମସ୍ତେ ହେଇପାରିବେନି।
Then what are the characteristics required? कौन दरकार तमे कौन भाबुछ गोटे ह्यूमन बीइंग भितर को कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स
ନା
रहिबा
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
दरकार
କେମିତି ପାଇଁ
जाहाल कि
ତାଙ୍କ
जणे काउंसलर हेई पारि कौन हबा दरकार कुह जे कहउथिलो कुह
पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रहउथिया
पॉजिटिव
दरकार
एटीट्यूड रहिबा दरकार
पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड
हां yes counselor itself must
तापरे
be an
ओपन
individual of
माइंडेड हवा
positive
दरकार
attitude.
ଆଉ
Yes,
सेंसिटिव
very
हेइबो
good, very good. माने counselor itself हां एगला तो सब मु लिखिची त मु पीपीटी टा देखा जाउची पीपीटी रे लिखिची तमे कोन फील करूचो जे नाही नाही ए सब थर द्वारा भी कोन हेइथिवा दरकार जणे काउंसलर counselor itself must be a emotionally balanced individual. Yes or no?
यस
Counselor itself is a individual of good mental health. जदि itself counselor कर mental health ठीक नहीं can be an individual as a counselor निजे लाइफ रे बहुत frustrated then individual can be a counselor. The counseling will be in a negative way.
नो मैम
Yes, counseling will be a गोटे टीचर जे ऑलरेडी टीचिंग करूचंती किंतु से तांग लाइफ रे के गोटे चाकरी ते पाई पारना तुली से बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेटेड अछंती बट ही इज गोइंग टू प्ले द रोल ऑफ देयर काउंसलर देन that person will feel all the negativity within the bekar a profession ku kebe asoni will be because the individual itself is a frustrated individual. Okay, so the counselor must be a mentally balanced individual. Okay, good mental health with having a good mental health and emotionally balanced. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ emotionally balanced ମାନେ କଣ we know that every individual have some positive emotions and negative emotions. Yes or no? Are you agree with me? Every individual have some positive emotions and negative emotions.
यस मैम
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ positive emotion negative emotion ଅଛି କିଏ ମତେ କହିଲ କୋଉଟାକୁ ଆମେ positive emotion କହୁଛେ
यस
କୋଉଟାକୁ
मैम
negative emotion କହୁଛେ ଗୋଟେ example ଦେଲ positive emotion ର ଦିଟା example ଦେଲ ମତେ କୋଉଟା positive emotion ଆମେ କାହାକୁ ପଜିଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ କହୁଛେ କୋଉଟା ଆମର ପଜିଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ କୋଉଟା ଆମର ନେଗେଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ ଜାଣିଛ ଇମୋସନ ମାନେ କଣ ଜାଣିଛ ଆବେଗ ଓଡିଆରେ କହିଲେ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଆବେଗ ଏଭ୍ରି ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ହ୍ୟାଭ ପଜିଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନେଗେଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ गोटे उदाहरण खाली दियो, एग्जांपल गोटे दियो कोटा पॉजिटिव इमोशन। आमे कहबे एम्पैथी, sympathy, love, affection, compassion, these all are the positive emotion, yes or no?
yes,
हाँ कि नहीं? हैप्पीनेस है
हाँ
खुशी
मैम
होबा, सिंपैथेटिक होबा,
पॉजिटिव
एम्पैथेटिक होबा, कंपैशन दया जोटा कि ओडिया रे कहला कोची दया भाव। सो दीज ऑल आर द पॉजिटिव इमोशन। सेमती नेगेटिव इमोशन कोन?
hate, anger, sadness.
यस, एंगर, जेलस, ओके, जेलस होबा, एंगर होबा, भय करिबा, डर भी, फियर, फियर, these all are the negative emotion, and every individual have all these positive emotion and negative emotion, okay, but we know how to make the balance of it। समस्तଙ୍କ भितरे सबु अछि, किंतु एज ए इंडिविजुअल व्हेन वी आर अकॉर्डिंग टू एज, व्हेन वी आर ग्रोइंग, देखियो छोट पिलाटे भोक होले कांदुची, किंतु बड़ होला पर भी तुमको भोक लागले तमे कांदुचो की? गोटे छोट पिलाटा को भोक लागले भोक पिलाटा कांदुची, कांदीबाटा भी गोटे होची क्राइंग इज आल्सो ए नेगेटिव इमोशन ना।
इमोशन
देन हाँ यस, क्राइंग इज ए नेगेटिव इमोशन, कहीं ना नेगेटिव इमोशन थिले ही तमरो कांदोटा बाहरे, ओके। तो sometimes we can say overwhelming, बहुत खुशी रे जने कांदीबा, that is different, but mostly okay, crying is a negative thing। so आम कहवा कथा, आमे जेतेबेले आम लाइफ रो जेतेबेले आम एज सहित आमे बढू, आमे ऑटोमेटिकली सीखी जाऊ केमिति दीटा जाको इमोशन रा बैलेंस करबा, ओके, पॉजिटिव इमोशन नेगेटिव इमोशन को केमिति बैलेंस करबा। और जो इंडिविजुअल सीखी पारेनी पॉजिटिव इमोशन नेगेटिव इमोशन, दे आर द इल मेंटल हेल्थ पीपल्स, तांकर मेंटल इम्बैलेंस न थाए बोली आमे कहू, ओके। आमे जानिचे को माने हमको केतेबेले बैलेंस करिवार अछि, कोडी पॉजिटिव इमोशन नेगेटिव इमोशन को केमिति कंट्रोल करिवार अछि, केन बैलेंस करिवार अछि। जदी ए दिटार बैलेंस जदी आमे न सिख पारुचे, देन इट इज ए सिम्पटम ऑफ इल मेंटल हेल्थ, okay। So as a counselor you must be mentally balanced, you must learn your first of all to control your own emotions, your positive and if you are unable to control your own positive and negative emotions, and you are unable to make a balance, then how you will guide others to make a balance on it, okay। So a counselor must be first learn the balancing of the emotions, okay। A counselor must be a genuine interest for counseling। ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର ହେବି ବୋଲି ମତେ କେବଳ ବାଇ ପ୍ରଫେସନ ମୋର କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ, ମତେ ପଇସା ମିଳିବ କି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଫେସନ କରିଛି ମତେ ଏଥିରେ अर्न କରିବାର ଅଛି, ଯଦି ମୁଁ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର ହେବି ମୋର କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ରେ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ନାହିଁ, then you never will be a counselor। You as a individual must be interested to be a counselor, ହେଲା। ନିଜର ଯେମିତି ଆମର ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ପାଇଁ ଆମର ପ୍ରଫେସନ ଯେମିତି ଆମେ କହୁଛେ, ଯଦି ଆମର ସେଟା पैशन हे जीवो देन हमको सेटा भल लागियो। सेमती काउंसलिंग भी तमर जदी पैशन थिबो देन यू विल सक्सेस गेट द सक्सेस एज ए काउंसलर, ओके। तो एटी सेति पे हमें कहले त हमर निश्चय उटे जेन्युइन इंटरेस्ट थिबा दरकार काउंसलिंग पाई। सेमती एक्टिव एंड पेशेंट लिसनिंग टू प्रॉब्लम्स। हमें जानिचे जो हमर लैंग्वेज रो स्किल गुडा को अछि, लिसनिंग, speaking, reading and writing, okay। and ଆମର मोस्टली कौन हुए जे सबु स्किल समस्तंगर बैलेंसली डेवलप हेइ नथाय, ओके। आमे मोस्टली मोस्ट ऑफ द लोक देखिबो कहबा को भल पांदी किंतु सुनिबा को के भल पांदी, ओके। तमे हम रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन रे भी देखितो, तमे गोटे कथा कहूचो किंतु लोक माने ओवरलैप करी कहबा, बहुत कम लोकंकर पेशेंट लिसनिंग थाए, माने की कोन कहूची आउ जदि तमे विदाउट लिसनिंग यू आर गोइंग टू स्पीकिंग, then that speaking has no value। सेमती विदाउट प्रॉपर रीडिंग यू आर गोइंग टू राइट। आमे आगो प्रथमे कोन आगो आमे आगो लिसनिंग सिखी कि तापर स्पीकिंग सिखुचे ने आगो स्पीकिंग सिखी कि तापर लिसनिंग सिखुचे?
लिसनिंग फर्स्ट देन स्पीकिंग।
यस, सेमती रीडिंग आगो पढुचे तापर लिखिया कथा भाबुचे, हो कि नहीं ना? आगो
यस मैम
राइटिंग तापर रीडिंग,
आगे
ଆମର
फर्स्ट रीडिंग देन राइटिंग।
पैरेलली चली थाए। हाँ किंतु आमे देखिबा जो लोक माने जेते अधिका पढ़ंती से माने बेसी भलो लिखि पारंती काहे ना सेमिति जो मानकर लिसनिंग हैबिट बहुत भलो जो माने माइन्यूटली लिसन करंती से मानकर स्पीकिंग भी एप्रोप्रिएट थाए हला तो आमे देखिबा गोटे काउंसलर हबा पई स्पीकिंग जति के एसेंशियल ताकू अधिका एसेंशियल होची गुड लिसनिंग प्रथमे आमे काहे ना आमे जानि छी जे आमे जण को काउंसलिंग करिया को जाउचे किछि न सुने के मु जहा जानि छी केवल खाली कहि देबी तमे या करो से करो से करो इट्स लाइक ए प्रीचिंग इट्स नॉट काउंसलिंग जेमति बाबा माने कहंती किबा जो एडवाइस दियंती समस्त विदाउट लिसनिंग एनीथिंग ओके या करते भलो जो सेडा करते भलो जो एमति करे तुम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नो proper listening is first required so to be a counselor your minute listening or active listening we can say that patient listening active listening is must amar ame out ekatha bi ko out vocabulary bi use kuru hearing or listening dita bhitere बहुत difference अछि kon difference अछि hearing kon listening kon na dita jago eka kotha
मैम ना मैम हियरिंग हेला हमें गोटे जाऊछु माने से कथरा हमें मन रखियो चाहू से कान रे पड़िला बाहरी गला लिसनिंग हमें प्रॉपर सेशन रे हमें
yes
सुनिया को चाहूछु
yes suppose तमे रास्ता रे जाउछो कोडे कोडे डाकबाजी रे जंत्र रे
और तो मन रखियो
अनाउंस
चाहू
करिक
से
जाउ
लिसनिंग
yes किंतु तमे सेटा किछि तमरो किछि कंसर्न नै किंतु मो कान रे बाजुछि मो सुनि पारुछि घरे तमरो टीवी लागि तमे तमरो काम रे
बस
व्यस्त
सेटा
अछि
हियरिंग
जस्ट कोन होछि का तमे जानिछ yes that is called as hearing किंतु लिसनिंग होछि आमे जहा सुनुचे ताकू आमो माइंड भितरे आमो ब्रेन भितरे किछि जागा देछि और जहा सुनिले सेई जिंसटा को आमो भितरे आमे प्रोसेसिंग करूचे ता विषय चिंता करूचे ता विषय भाबुचे देन इट इज लिसनिंग ओके so listening as a counselor you must have a good habit of listening आम listening habit रहिबा that is called as active listening okay हमको patient listening active listening रहिबा दरकार then next a counselor must be a sensitive individual माने कोन as we know that we are going to learn each and everything by help of our sense organs yes or no till now what you have learned by help of your sense organs 5 sense organs are there and whatever the knowledge information everything you got by help of the sense organs but to what extent you are sensitive it differ from person to person in a particular sense also okay so as a counselor after active listening it must create a sense within you then only you can be a good counselor understand कौन कहली बुझी पारलो खाली मु सुनिली किंतु it is not going to create a sense for me I am not able to suppose जणे मते प्रॉब्लम कहि कि गला मु खाली प्रॉब्लम ता तेरे सुनिबी बोली सुनिली but it never created a sense within me so how can I be a counselor मु ता केमिति good counseling करि परिबी never so I must sensitize it I must feel it then only I can be a good counselor so counseling who is going to choose as a counselor the person must be a sensitive individual okay must be able to feel the situation must be able to sense the what the other person is going the client what the client is going to speak must sense it then only the individual can be a good counselor then empathetic जेमति एबे मु कहउतली empathetic is a positive emotion ए पॉजिटिव इमोशन टा गोटे इंडिविजुअल भितरे रहिबा निहाती दरकार देन ओनली यू कैन बी ए काउंसलर एम्पैथेटिक अरे एम्पैथेटिक और सिंपैथेटिक ए दीटा वर्ड भितरे हम मोस्टली कंफ्यूज हो के तमे मते कहबो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस इज देयर व्हाट इज एम्पैथेटिक व्हाट इज सिंपैथेटिक ना दीटा जाबे एका कथा एका कथा एम्पैथी कोन सिंपैथी कोन जानिचो ना जानि न मु कहबी अच्छा ठीक अछि
हां मैम
कहउची
कोन
ये करो सिंपैथी एम्पैथी अलगा जिंस एका जिंस नुह सिंपैथी रो अर्थ होची ଦୟା ମାନେ କାହାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଦୟା ଦେଖିକି ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବା, that is sympathy. Okay, but empathy is empower. ଦୟା ନୁହଁ, empathy is not that to help only, but to empower. Sympathy is to help. Understand? ବୁଝିପାରିବ? example ଦେଇ କହୁଛି, ବୁଝିପାରିବ? ମନେକର ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ କରିପାରୁନି, ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାକୁ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ କିଛି କାମ ଦେଇଛ, ସେ କାମଟା ସେ କରିପାରୁ, ତମେ ନିଜେ ଯାଇକି ତା ପାଇଁ ସେ କାମଟା କରିଦବା, କାହିଁକିନା ତମେ ଜାଣୁଛ ଯେ ସେ ପିଲାଟା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କରିଦେଲେ ତାର କିଛି ଲାଭ ହବ। ଓକେ, ତମେ ଯାଇକି ତା କାମଟା ନିଜେ କରିଦେଲ, ଦେନ୍ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ସିମ୍ପାଥି। କାହିଁକିନା ତମେ ଯାଇ କରିଦେବା ଦ୍ୱାରା ନୋ ଡାଉଟ୍ ତାର କିଛି ଲାଭ ହେଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ସିଏ ନିଜେ କେମିତି କରିବାର ଶିଖିପାରିଲା ନାହିଁ, ସେ ଏମ୍ପାୱାର ହେଲା କି ନାହିଁ, ଆଉ ଥରେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ତା ଲାଇଫରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେଇ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଆସିବ ସିଏ କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଟାଇମିଂ ପାଇଁ ତମେ ତା ପାଇଁ କରିଦେଲ, ସେ ବେନିଫିଟ ସିଏ ପାଇଲା, ହେଲା। ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ସିମ୍ପାଥି, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ନଟ୍ ଏମ୍ପାଥି। ବଟ୍ ମୁଁ ସେତେବେଳେ ତା ପାଇଁ ନିଜେ ନ କରିଦେଇକି ତାକୁ ଏମ୍ପାୱାର କରିବି, ସିଏ ନିଜେ କେମିତି ସେ କାମଟା କରିପାରିବ, ତାକୁ ସେ କାମଟା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିବି। ମୁଁ ତାର କାମଟା କରିଦେବିନି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ସେ କାମଟା ନିଜେ ନିଜେ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିବି। ଓକେ, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଏମ୍ପାୱାର କରିବି, ତା ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ସେ ନିଜେ ସଲ୍ଭ କରିପାରିବ, then that is empathy. So sympathy is help, empathy is empower. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ଏବେ? ବୁଝିପାରିଲ?
କେବେ
ଏ ହଁ ହଁ କି ନାଇଁ କୁହ, ନହେଲେ ଯାଉ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ଯଦି କୁହ, ଆଉଥରେ କହିବ ଡିସ୍କସନ।
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ତ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର କେବେ ସିମ୍ପାଥେଟିକ ହବା କଥା ନୁହଁ। ସିମ୍ପାଥେଟିକ ହେଲେ ତମେ କେବଳ ଏଜ ଏ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର ତମେ ଯାଇକି ତା ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମଟା ସଲ୍ଭ କରିଦବ, ଦେନ୍ ସେ ଲୋକର ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ସଲ୍ଭ ହେଇଗଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ଆଉଥରେ ସେମ୍ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଆସିଲେ ଦ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ୱିଲ୍ ନେଭର ସଲ୍ଭ ଦ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ। ସୋ ଏଜ ଏ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର ୟୁ ମଷ୍ଟ ନଟ୍ ବି ସିମ୍ପାଥେଟିକ, you must feel that your role is to be empathetic, means to empower the individual to solve the problem himself or herself, not to be there to solve the problem. Okay, so here one of the characteristics of the counselor must be empathetic. और आगରୁ ମୁଁ ହିଁ କହିସାରିଥିଲି, a counselor must be non judgmental attitude. Mostly we the individuals, our society is like that, we grow always with a judgment. ଆମର ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତରେ ଆମେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ କଥାରେ ଭଲ ଖରାପ ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଜଜମେଣ୍ଟ ରେ ହିଁ ଆମେ ଆମ ଲାଇଫ ଲିଡ୍ କରୁ। But the thing is that we never know, we have no rights to take the decision as a good or bad. କାହିଁକି ନା ଆମେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ସିଚୁଏସନ ଜାଣି ନଥାଉ, ମନେକର କୋଉଠି ଗୋଟେ କିଛି ଇନସିଡେନ୍ସ ହେଲା, ଆମେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କହିଦଉ ଆର ଭୁଲ ଅଛି ତାର ଭୁଲ ଅଛି। ଓକେ, but we suddenly take the decision, but we do not know the reality. ମନେକର ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ କିଛି ଖରାପ କାମ କରିଛି, we are there only to take the judgment who is good, who is bad, but we do not know what is the circumstance force the individual to do like that. Okay, why the individual has done like that. Okay, so judgment should not be the quality of a counselor. ଯଦି ତମେ judgmental ହେଇଗଲ, ତମେ କିଛି ଶୁଣିବ ହିଁ ନାହିଁ, because our judgment always based on our own perception. ମୁଁ କାହାକୁ ଭଲ କହିବି ଖରାପ କହିବି ସେଟା ମୋ perception ଉପରେ depend କରୁଛି, ମୁଁ situation ଟାକୁ କେମିତି perceive କଲି, but not my perception is always correct. Maybe the situation is different, maybe I am wrong, I perceive the situation in different way. So judgment is always based on our own perception. So a counselor must not work on the basis of its own perception. ମୁଁ ନିଜେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛି ତା ବେସିସ ରେ ମୁଁ ନିଜେ ଜଜମେଣ୍ଟ କଥା ନେବା କଥା ନୁହଁ। ସବୁବେଳେ କଣ ମତେ ଲିସନ, ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ଲିସନିଂ, ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ପେସେନ୍ସ ହିୟରିଂ ସହିତ ମତେ ସବୁ କଥା ବିଷୟରେ ପ୍ରଥମେ aware ହେବା ଦରକାର, then we can think what can be do, what cannot be do. The judgment, he is wrong, he is right, he is good, he is wrong, like that. Okay, so the counselor must be non-judgmental in attitude and open-minded. Already you know, already we discussed how it will be open-minded with positive attitude and with confidentiality. If as a counselor you have no confidence to face the problem, then you have no rights to be a counselor. You learn, then learn, after that we can guide. Okay, yes, so these are all are the characteristics of a counselor. Then we will discuss regarding counseling ethics. what are the ethics are there? Ethics mane buझी parcho? Ethics mane buझी parcho? Ethics, what are meaning buझी parcho? What is ethics? Ethics word, ethics कौन बुझीचो? Ethics होची, there are certain things we used to accept it without any questioning. Those are called as the ethics. There are certain rules, regulations, or norms are there. We are being a part of it is going to accept it without any questioning. Suppose we can tell in every profession there is certain ethics. Yes or no? प्रत्येक प्रोफेशन ର କିଛି ethics ଅଛି. If as a professional I enter to that profession, we have to accept those ethics without any questioning. Without any questioning. Like counseling is a profession. If counseling is a profession, there are certain ethics. If I want to be a counselor, so I have to accept those ethics without any questioning. ସେମିତି ଆମେ କହିବା ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଯେମିତି ଟିଚିଂ profession ର କିଛି ethics ଅଛି. ଓକେ, ଯଦି ଆମେ କହିବା ଡକ୍ଟର ମାନଙ୍କର କିଛି ethics ଅଛି. ସବୁ profession ର ଯୋଉଟାକୁ profession officially which are declared as the profession, in every profession there are certain ethics. And being a part of that profession, we have to accept those ethics without any questioning. So we know that as counseling is also ethics, so there are certain rules and regulations and we have to accept those. Okay, so what are the ethics for that counseling? That already I told in characteristics also, to maintain confidentiality. ଯଦି ମୁଁ एज ए काउंसलर काम करूची, मो क्लाइंट रू मु सब प्रॉब्लम सुनिବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋ କ୍ଲାଏंट ର प्रॉब्लम गुडाको मु जाई कि बाहर से विषय रे कथा हेबी, सेटा अन्य मानकु कहिबी, that is not the ethics of counseling. ताकू लो inferior करिवन. So instead of make the client a empathetic a problem, help to solve the problem, I'm going to create the rumor among the others regarding his or her problem. So it is not the ethics of the counseling. Okay, so as a counselor I must maintain the confidentiality. Okay. I'm because as a client, the client has told all his problems, means positive and negative. Everything is have told by him or her to me. So as a counselor, I must maintain the confidentiality. I must not disclose all those things in front of others. I must not make a point of discussion with others. ମୁଁ ସେ କଥାକୁ ନେଇକି ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ discussion କରିବା, ତା ଅର୍ଥ ତାକୁ low feel କରେଇବା, low feeling create କରେଇବା, society low ଦେଖେଇବା. So these are not the ethics of the counseling. Okay, as a counselor also you must be bold and confident. If as a counselor you are not bold and confident, it will, because we know that when we talk with certain individuals we get certain positive vibration. So as a counselor you must feel that you are transacting the positive vibration to the client. So jadi as a counselor you are not confident, how the individual you will help to solve the problem? Okay, so you must be bold and confident, and whatever the counseling will be there, it must be in a conducive learning environment. There must be a conducive environment for counseling also, जोटा कि तापे गोटे पर्टिकुलर रूम थिबो. तमे जेतेबेले एज ए काउंसलर एज ए क्लाइंट कथा होतो तार सिक्रेसी मेंटेन हे करथुबो, किबा तमे से कथा को काहा पाखरे डिस्क्लोज करू नथिबो. Client feel free to disclose everything in front of you. So these are the certain ethics. And accept the client. Already I told you, never judge the client. Always accept. If you will accept the client, then only the client will disclose his or her problem. If we will make the judgment, that client, the individual will never feel free to tell the problems to you. Okay, so and counselor must be a transitional figure, means whatever is told by the transitional figure अर्थ होची गोटे इंडिविजुअल को ट्रांजिशनल फिगर जे मु जो नेगेटिव कथा भी जानी छी, से नेगेटिव कथा I must not be the mediator to transfer to others. आमे जेतेबेले अन्यर किछि खराब कथा जानी थाउ, आमे ताको अलगा लोकन को आगे कहया पे बहुत भल पांती, बहुत अधिक लोक. केबे आमे भलो कथा कार आमे काहा को पास करिया पे very rare people are there to pass the positivity to others. But we are filled with such negativity. Negative things spread very fastly in the society. जोठु भी किछि खराब कथा जतबेले आमे सुनु आमे संगे संगे से कथाटा को स्प्रेड करिबो that must not be a counselor. ओके जी सेमिति काम न करंदी जे नेगेटिविटी को तांका पाखरे ही बंद कर दियंती से नेगेटिविटी मु जानिली ठीक अछि किंतु मु का मो द्वारा एटा का पाखु ट्रांसफर हबो नाही यदि मु निजे डिसाइड कली देन आई एम ए ट्रांजिशनल फिगर. ओके सो ए काउंसलर मस्ट बी ए ट्रांजिशनल फिगर. बुझी पारलो कोन कहली? अरे मु सुना जाउची आई एम ऑडिबल टू ऑल ऑफ यू.
Yes, ma'am.
पीपीटी देखा जाउची?
PPT not visible, ma'am.
देखा जाउनी?
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦେଖାଯାଉନି।
ଆଉ ଥରେ ସେୟାର କରୁଛି ରୁହ। ଦେଖାଗଲା?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦେଖାଗଲା।
ହେଲା ଆମେ କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ ର ଏଥିକ୍ସ ଗୁଡାକ ଡିସ୍କସ
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦେଖାଗଲା ଏବେ।
କଲେ କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ ରେ କଣ ଏଥିକ୍ସ ରହିବ। ଓକେ ଓକେ ଶୁଣା ବି ଯାଉଛି? ଶୁଣା ବି
ହଁ
ଯାଉଛି?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଶୁଣାଯାଉଛି। ହଁ
ଭଏସ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ତ? ତାପରେ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା ଟେକ୍ନିକ୍ସ ଅଫ ଗାଇଡେନ୍ସ ଏଣ୍ଡ କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ। କଣ କଣ ଟେକ୍ନିକ ଅଛି ଏଜ ଏ ପ୍ରୋଫେସନାଲ କାଉନ୍ସିଲର କଣ କଣ ଟେକ୍ନିକ ଅଛି ସେ ଟେକ୍ନିକ ଗୁଡାକ କଣ କଣ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ଟିକେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା। ତାର ଟେକ୍ନିକ ତ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡାଏ ଟେକ୍ନିକ ଅଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ମେନ୍ ହଉଛି ତମର ରେସନାଲ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍, preparing a emotional balance sheet, negotiation, disputing irrational beliefs, count your blessings, cognitive restructuring technique, life skill approach, mental health education, psychosocial concerns, body image concerns. तो जेतेबेले आमे गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग कथा कहूचे आमे गाइडेंस कौन जानिले, काउंसलिंग कौन जानिले, गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग रो एथिक्स कौन जानिले, गाइडेंस एंड काउंसलिंग पाई काउंसलर रो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स कौन हेतिया जानिले किंतु जदी एज ए प्रोफेशनल गाइड काउंसलर कौन कौन टेक्निक अवेलेबल अछि से टेक्निक गुडा को केमिति आमे अडॉप्ट करिकि जणको आमे काउंसलिंग गाइडेंस और काउंसलिंग करि परिबा। गोटे होची रेशनल एनालिसिस। रेशनल एनालिसिस माने collect all rational analysis when we are there in counseling we must first listen from the counselor, note all the events or activities or the situations is told by the client and make the analysis of it with the client. okay बेले बेले कौन हुए आमे किछि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करिया कथा नै, बेले बेले कौन हुए प्रॉब्लम टाकू डिस्कशन करिबारे ही सॉल्यूशन थाए। yes or no, are you agree? ए विषय तमे राजी हो? बेले बेले हमकु आमे भाबु जे हमकु के सॉल्यूशन दे देबो किंतु ता विषय रे आमे डिस्कशन करू करू ही हमकु आम सॉल्यूशन निजे मिली जाय थाए। मेन दरकार तार ताकू आमे ताकू एनालाइज करिवा दरकार। व्हेनेवर देयर इज ए प्रॉब्लम वी मस्ट एनालाइज इट। have you ever feel like that? that is called as the rational analysis. So rational analysis is a technique. Here nothing is to tell, but the thing is that the role of the counselor is to give the opportunity to the client to reveal or to expose all the events, all the situations, what has done. And counselor work is to active listening and to analyze why it happened, for what it happened, So counselor role is not to give the suggestion. Counselor role is not to give the feedback, not to find the fault, but to make the discussion and to analyze the situation. Okay, so that is called as the rational analysis. बुझी पार लगी रे कौन कहले? So rational analysis is a technique for counseling. बुझी पारलो ना बुझी पारलो नहीं?
हाँ मैम।
बुझी पारलो? अच्छा, नेक्स्ट होची प्रिपेयरिंग ए इमोशनल बैलेंस शीट. जेमते हमें भी मु तुमको पचारुतली जेतेबेले भी गोटे किछि प्रॉब्लम अछि आमे गोटे बैलेंस शीट तयारी करिवा. गोटे पर्टिकुलर लोक तुमको क्लाइंट आछि तुम पाखु एज ए काउंसलर, we will focus on making a sheet regarding the emotions, because we know all type of problem arise in our life due to the lack of balance of the emotion, due to the lack of balance of the emotion. जोटा हमर balance emotion द balance ही हुए नी सेटा ही problem हुए. तो mostly we are unaware about our emotion. Sometimes तमे जेतलो feel करो तमे रागीचो किंतु you are unaware that you are anger you are there in anger now. किंतु जो मोमेंट रे तमे कॉन्शियस हो जे नाइ नाइ मु एबे रागीची तम सेतेले तम राग कमी जिवो ने मु एबे रागीची मु एबे किछि कहिबी नाही मु एबे रागीची मु एठी रहिबी नाही मु आउटिके बाहर को कड पळेबी काई ना because we know in anger what we will do everything will be wrong. काई ना anger is a negative emotion. रागी के हमें जेतेबेले कथा कहितिबा से कथा गुडा को भूल थिबो रागी के हमें जेतेबेले गोटे काम करदेबा से कामटा भूल होबो. तो जदि हमें केवल तमर इमोशन विषय कॉन्शियस हे जिवो खाली जे नो नो नाउ आई एम देयर इन ए नेगेटिव इमोशन एंगर इज ए नेगेटिव इमोशन आई एम देयर इन नेगेटिव इमोशन सो आई एवर मु जानि गली जे मु एबे रागी छि मु का कुछ कहबी मु जो समय रे रागी छि मु का संगे कथा ही हेबी देन ऑटोमेटिकली यू विल ओवरकम दैट नेगेटिव इमोशन. ओके, सो मेक द अवेयर रिगार्डिंग द इमोशन और टू जदि सेही जिंस तमु जेतेबेले देखियो गोटे लोक तम पाखे काउंसलिंग को आसी छि आमे तांकर नेगेटिव इमोशन गुडा से तांको अवेयर करेबा तांको कहिबा ए नेगेटिव जिंस यू जेतेबेले तमर ए जिंसटा होछि तमे यू जस्ट नोट इट केतेबेले तम के दिनो को केते थरो तमे रागुछो रागिले तमे की काम करूछो कोन करूछो. ओके, सेमिति सब खाली नॉट ओनली एंगर फियर जते नेगेटिव इमोशन गुडा को विषय रे जेतेबेले आमे अनअवेयर we are going to do something wrong in our life. So preparing a balance sheet of the emotion is a technique for counseling. Okay, automatically you no need to counsel, automatically most of the problem for the counselor will be solved. Okay, like that negotiation means when there are two party some misunderstanding is there and there is need to make them aware regarding their condition, sometimes due to misunderstanding or maybe the situation is not like that, both perceive the situation in a different way and the situation has disturbed. So at that time, at that situation for counseling, there is need of the technique of negotiation. So negotiation is also a technique for counseling. Disputing irrational beliefs. जेमते हमें कहूँ हमर rational belief अछि एते irrational belief अछि. तो हमर कोन कोन irrational belief आमे से विषय रे जानिबा. बहुत लोक आमे unaware what is our irrational beliefs. Okay, why what is rational what is irrational we are unaware about it. To make them aware जेतेबेला आमे केवल aware नहीं हे जिबा most of the problem in life will be solved. Okay, problem only will not be arise. So first of all the need of the awareness जेमते हमें कहली लोक आमे most of the time we are unaware that what is the time in a day I am there with positive emotion and what is the time in a day I am there with the negative emotion. And we know that negative emotion is not going to hamper others. Negative emotion always hamper us. मु जदि रागिची it has a negative impact on me, not on others. मु भाबुची मु अन्य मानक ऊपर रागिची. No, it has never a negative impact on others. It has a negative impact on my health, on my mind, on my soul, everything, in my mental health, everything. So make them aware about their rational beliefs and irrational. The awareness ही होबो most of the life problem already solved. So it's a technique to make them aware regarding their rational beliefs and irrational beliefs. Sometimes people will come with the low feeling. I'm Nothing is there with me, and I'm the most unfortunate people in the world. Okay, but we know that always we are counting our life what we didn't get. But suppose if we will count our life from the positive, so it is a negative attitude. Counting the life from the negativity, what we are not having, is a negative attitude. But if you will count to what extent I am blessed, what is there with me, most of the problem in your life will be solved. And it is a technique for counseling. Just you also apply in your life. Every day you just feel what is there with you, not to judge your life, what is not there with you. Then you will feel happy in your life. But we always count our life what we are not happy. We never conscious really what we are happy. ଆମେ ଆମର ପାଖରେ କଣ ଅଛି ତା ବିଷୟରେ less conscious, କଣ ନାହିଁ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ବହୁତ conscious. So which is always going to create a unhappiness or sorrow, is a negative emotion. ଯଦି ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ କଣ ନାହିଁ ଭାବିବା, ନାହିଁ point of view ଭାବିବା, it will create a negative emotion. Sorrow, unhappiness is a negative emotion. Okay, ଆରେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଆରେ ମୁଁ ଅନଲାଇନ ଅଛି ନା,
ହଁ
ଡିସକନେକ୍ଟ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହେଇଗଲି ରେ।
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଶୁଣା
ଶୁଭୁଛି।
ଯାଉଛି ତ? ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଠିକ ଅଛି। So count your blessings, do not count your life from negativity. Count what you have. କଣ କଣ blessing ତମ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି, କୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି, feel happy for that. Then it create a positive attitude within you, and lot of the problems in our life will be solved. So it is a technique, okay, for counseling. Like cognitive restructuring technique. If as we know, the cognitive level रे जेतेबेले हमरो किछि problem होछि, आमे से counseling बेले आमे एज technique को use करि परिबा। जेमति हमरो according to age cognitive development is there or not. If it is not there, why, what is the cause of it? Suppose there is certain problem due to which a child is having a cognitive problem. Okay, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ମିସ୍ ହାପେନିଂ ହେଇଛି ଯାହା ଦ୍ୱାରା କି ପ୍ରପର କଗ୍ନିଟିଭ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇପାରୁନି, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କାହାର ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଯାଇଛି, କି ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରେ କିଛି ମିସ୍ ହାପେନିଂ ହେଇଯାଇଛି। ସୋ ସେତିକି ବର୍ଷର ପିଲାର ସେତିକି ବର୍ଷର mental maturity ଆସିନି କିମ୍ବା cognitive development ହେଇପାରିନି, then we can adopt this cognitive restructuring according to age specific ତାର କଣ ହବା ଦରକାର, କୋଉଟା ହେଇନି। ଯଦି ହେଇନି ତା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଟେକ୍ନିକ, ତାର ତ cognitive restructuring technique ର different step ଅଛି, ଆମକୁ ତାକୁ ସେଟାକ ଫଲୋ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। but we just here are identifying cognitive restructuring is also a technique for counseling. ଯେମିତି ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ, ଆମର ଯେମିତି ଅଲରେଡି ଆମର କୁହାଯାଇଛି ଯେ ଆମର ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍ 10ଟା ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରାଯାଇଛି, ଟେଷ୍ଟ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ କରିଛି ବା ୟୁଏନଓ ର ଦ୍ୱାରା ବି ହେଇଛି ଯେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲଙ୍କର ଏ 10ଟା ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍। ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣିଛ 10ଟା ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍ କଣ କଣ? ଜାଣିଛ କି ରେ ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍ କଣ 10ଟା ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ ପାଇଁ ହବା ଡେଭଲପ ହବା ଦରକାର? ଓକେ, ନାଇଁ ଜାଣିନ ଯଦି ନେଟ ରୁ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରି ଦେଖିବ ଜାଣିବ ହେଲା। ଆଉ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ଅଧିକ ଡିସ୍କସନ କଲେ ତ ଆମେ ଆହୁରି ବହୁତ ରହିଲାଣି, ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିପାରିବାନି। ତ ଲାଇଫ ସ୍କିଲ୍ ର ଯଦି କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଅଛି, then we will identify what type of problem is there in the life skill. Okay, so we can identify those problems and can also provide the guidance on the basis of to develop all those life skills. ସେମିତି mental health education ପାଇଁ, psychosocial concerns ପାଇଁ, body language concerns ପାଇଁ ଆମର ଯଦି ମନେକର କିଛି body language ରେ ଆମର behavioral problem ଅଛି, okay, behavioral problem ପାଇଁ ଏ ସବୁର ଆମର ଟେକ୍ନିକ ଅଲଗା ଥାଏ। psychosocial problem, society ରେ ଚଳିବାର problem ରହୁଛି, okay, then we are getting the technique of psychosocial, psychological problem, social problem, mental health education, body language. Sometimes according to age the individual is unable to know how what type of body language, because we know every individual, we all of us communicate more than 90% by help of our body, but mostly we think that we communicate by the verbal communication, but it is a misconception. ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ एज ए इंडिविजुअल more than 90% we are communicating with help of our body language. Body language ମାନେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛ? କିଏ କହିବ body language ମାନେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛ? ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଭିଜୁଆଲ more than 90% is communicating non-verbal. କିଛି ନ କହିକିରି ଆମେ ଜଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ 90% communicate କରୁଛେ only by help of our body language. Non-verbal communication. And only nearly 10% we are going to communicate by help of our language or verbal. Verbally what we are going to speak, we are. But sometimes ଆମେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ହଉଛି ମୁଁ ତ ତାକୁ କିଛି କହିନଥିଲି ସେ କେମିତି ଖରାପ ଭାବିଲା. No. Without telling in words something, we are going to tell many things by help of our body. Because our body speaks. Not only your verbal communication, your mouth is not only going to speak. Our body is going to speak. Okay. So when we are going to communicate with an individual, not only the verbal communication plays a very important role. Full body is going to communicate. It means your facial expression, your facial muscles, your eye movement, and your hand movement, your way of standing, your gesture, your posture, your eye contact, each and everything is going to communicate. Okay. So there are the skill of attending. There is a skill of attending, skill of we can say responding. So these are the things. But suppose eithre jodi kahar kichi problem achi, then is need we must need the adapt the technique of body image concerns. Okay. ଆମେ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଦବା ଦରକାର, କାହିଁକି ନା ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଆମ ଲାଇଫ ରେ ବହୁତ କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଇଯାଏ, ବଟ୍ ଆମେ ଜାଣୁ ନଥାଉ ଯେ ଆମର କୋଉଥିପାଇଁ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମଟା ହେଇଛି, we are unaware. କାହିଁକି ନା ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷର କିଏ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଆମକୁ ପିଲାଦିନୁ କେବେ ଶିଖା ଯାଏନି, ଆମେ ମୋଷ୍ଟଲି ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିକି ଶିଖୁ, but really it is required for each one of us how to communicate with others. Okay, how to attend others. Okay, attending is a skill, but we never learn how to attend. Okay, so attending is a skill. So for such time, if the problem arise for those things, there is a need of that technique to adapt the body image concerns. Okay, so these are the different techniques we have to adapt for the at the time of counseling on the basis of that problem. Ko problem achi taku nahi. We cannot tell that which technique is appropriate, which technique is the best technique, which technique is not a good technique, not like that. Every technique has its own importance, but the thing is that we can adapt a counseling technique on the basis of the nature of the problem. କୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ କୁ ନେଇକି ଆମେ କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ କରୁଛେ ତା ବେସିସ ରେ ଆମକୁ କାଉନ୍ସିଲିଂ ର ଟେକ୍ନିକ କୁ ଚୁଜ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ. Okay, what is the nature of the problem, why the problem, and what is the cause of the problem, and on the basis of it we have to. That's why counseling is a very long term process. As already I told to you, guidance is a short term process. It is not going in depth. It amar guidance कहला बेला हमें depth को जाऊना, केवल only from the point of view of a problem what should be the suggested solutions we are going to reveal it, and on the basis of that guidance is going to run. But counseling is a long term process, and at the time of counseling we has to go to in depth. And in counseling, identification of problems only plays a very important role. As a counselor, your main objective is how exactly I can identify the problem. As I mean, ଯେମିତି ଜାଣୁଛେ ଡକ୍ଟର ମେଡିସିନ ଦବାଟା ଯେତିକି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ନାହିଁ, ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଟା କଣ ଡାଇଗ୍ନୋସିସ୍ କରିବା ଯେତିକି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ, କାହିଁକି ନା ଥରେ କଜ୍ ଟା କଣ, ଡିଜିଜ ଟା କଣ ଡାଇଗ୍ନୋଜ ହେଲା ପରେ you can give the suggested medicine. Kintu if diagnosis is not proper, you give a very quality medicine, but it will never function. Okay, so like that also in counseling, as a counselor, as I already told, counseling is a long term process, and counseling we have to go in depth. So identification of the problem only plays a very important role, and it takes a lot of time. As a counselor, we must properly analyze why the sometimes we think that the problem is a physical problem. No, The problem arises out of the social issues. So it is a social problem. So at the time of identifying the problem, we have to take into consideration of all aspects, and we have to make a proper analysis of it. Then only we can identify the problem and it can be solved properly. Okay. So identification of the problem in a counseling process plays a very important role. And on the basis of it, we have to, if problem is identified properly, we have to go for a particular adopting a technique to achieve the goal. Yes. So these all are the regarding guidance and counseling. Today we cover mostly the unit 15 up to unit 15 regarding guidance and counseling, and very less I think is left to discuss in the next class regarding your unit 16 regarding adjustment and mental health. And if any other doubt is there also in the last class, we can discuss. Out of your 4 module, if any other doubt is there, you can ask, we will discuss. Now also, if you will ask any doubt, we will discuss. ଯଦି ତମର ଏ ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ଯାହା ବି ଆଜି ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କଲେ କିମ୍ବା ଯାହା ବି ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିଛେ ଆମେ, ଯଦି ତମେ କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି କହିବ, ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ବି ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିବା. Okay, so now I am going to stop the PPT. So you ask your doubt. Is there any doubt? ଆଉ ତ 2 ଜଣ ହିଁ ଅଛ ବୋଧେ, ଶେଫାଳି ଆଉ ବନିତା. କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ପଚାର?
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ନାହିଁ? ତାହେଲେ ସେ
ନା
ମଡେଲ ଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ ପଢିଲ? ସେଟାକରେ କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ନାହିଁ ତମର? ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି ତମମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେ ମଡେଲ ଗୁଡାକ ଟିକେ ପଢିବ, ଯଦି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି କହିବ, ସ୍ପେସିଫିକାଲି ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିବୁ. ମଡେଲ ଗୁଡାକ ପଢିଲ ସମସ୍ତେ? ଡାଇରେକ୍ସନାଲ ମଡେଲ କଣ, ଏଟା ସବୁ ପଢିଲ? ନାଇଁ? ଯୋଉ ମଡେଲ ଅଫ ଟିଚିଂ ଗୁଡାକ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିଥିଲେ, ସେଟା ଏକ ଟିକେ ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଥିଲା. ତମେ ଯଦି ପଢିଥାନ୍ତ, ତମର ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ଆମେ ତାହେଲେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିଥାନ୍ତୁ. ବିହେଭିୟରାଲ ମଡେଲ କଣ, पर्सनलाइज मॉडल कौन, डिफरेंट मॉडल ऑफ टीचिंग गुड़ाक जो थिला सेडाक सब कौन, एडवांस ऑर्गेनाइजर मॉडल कौन? नहीं डाउट नहीं, बुझी जाइछ सब? अरे रेस्पोंड करो. शेफाली और बनिता आउ तो केही नाहंती बोधे क्लास रे, 2 जण ही अछ तमे. नाही जदी कहबो, जदी तमरो किछि डाउट अछि से मॉडल गुड़ाक भी हम नेक्स्ट क्लास आ गुटे क्लास जो अछि सेतिरे डिस्कशन करबा. ओके. So we will stop the class. एटे बंद कर दबा क्लास ताले. तमर जदी किछि डाउट नाही, आजी एटा बुझी परलो माइक्रो मेसो एक्सो मैक्रो सिस्टम कोन, एटा बुझी परलो?
हाँ मैम.
ओके, ताले एटी क्लास एंड करिवे.
हाँ
जदी तमर किछि डाउट अछि पचारिबो, ताले डिस्कशन करिवा. नाही जदी कहबो ताले एटा एंड करिवा.
नहीं मैम.
किछि डाउट नाही? ठीक अछि.
ना.
ठीक अछि, we will end our class here.